Good evening, afternoon, San Bernardino. I wanted to stop in because some stuff has come up and I think we need to cover it. We don't actually have a lot of time between now and when this meeting is taking place. So this is pretty urgent and I think you guys should hear what's happening. So let me make sure that we are live and updated as always. So if you can join, I hope that you can comment. If not, I will be sharing this to my Instagram as well as my YouTube. Okay, perfect. We are up and running. Okay, so for those of you that don't know, there was an announcement for a special meeting coming up this Wednesday at 3 p.m. The special meeting is a study session. And the topics that have been included have caused some really big concerns for those in the community that know about it, for myself. And so what I want to do just really quickly, because the agenda hadn't been fully posted, this is just a mock-up of what's coming, is the city manager is going to talk about the city hall renovation project, the Carousel Mall redevelopment, and a code of ethics and conduct for the police department. And so we're going to kind of break those down real quick and talk about why this is a big deal. So, okay, what's interesting about Montoya coming in and talking about City Hall is when he got here late last year, this was a topic, right? We've all been like, how are we going to get back in here? What are we going to be doing? And he told quite a few members of the community that City Hall couldn't be saved, that there was just a non-starter, and the best thing to do was like tear it down. And that was really troublesome, one, because it is, deemed at this point a historical building because of the designer. There's like another identical one in another space. And there's nothing wrong. We've talked about a lot about the structuralness given its earthquake design, but as you guys know, it's gone through multiple earthquakes. And so that had really taken people aback by hearing that. And then most recently, Montoya was a part of a meeting that we'll talk about where he said that he's in a newspaper article where he was quoted as saying that he actually wants to go out and take out a bond. And this could be anywhere between 80 to $100 million bond for us to renovate City Hall. Now, what gives pause to this is that for many years, people have been approaching the city and our elected officials talking about possible grant opportunities because of the historical context, because of the need of the city, because of different abilities from the state and federal elected officials. No one has even ventured down those steps. And I know this because I was just in a meeting the other day where someone had, when Helen was running for mayor, had said, yeah, we approached her mayor. We told her like, there's upwards of $40 million in grant funding, never heard back. So why we would not exhaust every avenue of free money before we would attempt to bond, which taxpayers, it's like getting a credit card in our name. And if we were default on it, we'd all be having to pay that back. And so between 80 to $120 million when we can't pave our streets, when we can't do infrastructure improvements and lighting and our regular systems, like this is crazy. This is really crazy, but it's going to lead into an explanation in a minute because of what Charles Montoya has done previously. So, and those of you guys that don't know, that's actually Charles Montoya. That's what he looks like in real life, regardless of the pictures they keep putting out. You can't tell, but this really is the city manager. So next, what's on the agenda is the Carousel Mall redevelopment. Now, here's something. This man went into a meeting with a bunch of developers and talked about how he wants to lead the way to master develop the downtown. Now, what that would mean is that the city would be in charge of everything that a developer does, which we've never, ever had the capacity to pull off. We don't have the manpower. We don't have the know-how. And in prior times when we were looking at the mall redevelopment, we had gone to realtors. What we did in 2019 and 2020 with moving with RDI Co, as it has been the furthest along we have ever gotten in a rendering of what the downtown would look like, in strategic planning of what the downtown would look like, and they killed it in 3 years. So this is just, I can't imagine it, but I can, because of how this is all coming to fruition. This is not a new plan. This isn't even a new conversation. This is just a new city manager having the same conversation. And where this really came about, and this is a big thing, you guys, this conversation, this was what we had originally planned, right? We were talking about a river walk, multi-use housing, entertainment below, shopping, different abilities for, all kinds of age, income people. This is what we had wanted, and a community benefits agreement. Now, here we go. So on January 4th of this year, Juan Figueroa held a business roundtable meeting with Charles Montoya at a business in the 3rd Ward. And one of the discussions was the downtown redevelopment. And do you know who just happened to be at this meeting? No other than John Valdivius himself. Yes, bringing in with him his own developers. You guys, none of this is by mistake. This is all happening. Nothing has changed except for the names. And Theodore Sanchez was there along with Fred Charette, listening to this plan about how we subdivide and we self-develop, which all is just really the never-ending code for pay to play. Because here is Valdivia bringing in people, probably past donors and now new possible donors to these elected officials for a piece of the downtown. It's so sad. And then what makes it even worse is that Kimberly Calvin, the councilwoman in the 6th Ward, during her opportunity to talk about meetings that had taken place in the city, after Fred had had an opportunity, Juan had had an opportunity, Theodore had had an opportunity, the mayor had had an opportunity, nobody brought up this meeting in which John Valdivia showed up with his own developers in a discussion about the downtown redevelopment. And when she started to talk about it, Helen Tran jumped in and point of order, and you shouldn't talk about this. Why would she want to shut this down? Why would anybody want to shut down the knowledge of our community knowing that John Valdivia is back with the same people that were paying him before? This is the type of just constant chaos and corruption and pay to play and failure that we had been fighting for 4 years, right back in our face. And what's coming at 3:00 in the afternoon on Wednesday, when most of us are unable to attend, is talking about the largest issues facing our city. And at 3:00 in the afternoon, that's when you want to do it? It's very interesting how in the last meeting, Theodore Sanchez said that he wants to start meetings at 3:00, and lo and behold, here's a special meeting at 3:00 in the afternoon. None of this is by mistake. It is all so well planned and orchestrated in plain sight, right in front of us at the meetings, on the record. It's a lot. So take that in for a minute. And then we're going to move in right now to another area that is, I think, extremely critical. I have been reaching out, trying to find out what this is on the agenda, and it really is just Charles Montoya. Charles Montoya asked to put on a discussion about the Code of Ethics, police conduct in, well, no, this isn't something coming out of our police department, is what I've been able to gather. Nobody was asked. There is no ability to have any discussion about what this could possibly mean. That code of ethic is something I just, pulled off of line. But right now, in the midst of where we are finally being able to see the fruits of the labor of the chief of police and his amazing staff, this is troublesome that you would pull something as vital as this level of a conversation without actually discussing anything with the police, at very least the chief. So, unfortunately, I don't think that this is by accident either. What has come in the last basically month and a half since Montoya has actually become city manager is that he is presuming to push out people that he does not want there. This is a guy, and look, we know this. People were reaching out to us as our council was preparing to vote on him. That has a bad history. And there is a reason why he has been fired from every job that he has. And so in City Hall, we are right back into the chaos that Charles McNeely had been able to calm the waters in the time that he was here. There are employees who have already said that Montoya that either hasn't still met employees, that when he talks to them, they can't figure out like where he's at and what he's talking about, that he's leading that he's intimidating employees, that he's making them fear for their jobs. And at the same time, he's trying to push out the chief of police and other department heads. Guys, like, this is a problem, but we knew it was going to be a problem. He has a history of trying to leverage multi-million-dollar projects. That is what he's doing right here before he even knows what the city of San Bernardino is about. He is trying to redevelop our downtown and redevelop City Hall. Hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars mixing around at the same time. That is very dangerous, especially with the limited ability, the limited accounting that we do. This is how money goes missing. These are how the problems begin and end with us. And so we don't have time to wait, because if you guys can make it at 3:00, it's important that you have your voice. This will be a study session. There won't be a vote, but there will be a discussion that the people need to be a part of. And look, this is Helen, Teddy, Fred, Sandra, and Juan. These people picked him to be here. And at the same time that we are all trying to rally around our police department, this guy is going to cost us our chief of police. At the same time that we've been rebuilding our departments, this guy's going to cost us our department heads. And his choice of picking a retiree instead of going out for recruitment, that's a whole nother issue in public works. We're not even getting the opportunity to bring anybody new here. And hi, Mike. Hi, Sophia. Thank you guys for jumping in. The word is out that Charles Montoya is a problem, which is why he couldn't be hired for over a year after he was fired. And he had to come all the way back to California into the city of San Bernardino. But I can't be quiet and watch the potential loss of our chief. I can't do it. I won't do it. I won't watch our department heads walk out of here, because Charles Montoya does not deserve to be the city manager of our city. He has been nothing but a problem. And the way that he has talked out of the both sides of his mouth is absolutely a red flag for everybody that he's been talking to. And so again, I always go back to Helen Tran's quote that they fully vetted his background and are confident he has a strength and character to leave San Bernardino, that he has demonstrated in the past that he will stand up and do the right thing for himself and his community, and that he's the type of leader we need. I still don't agree with that. And from what I'm seeing and what I'm able to report out, we need to be very vigilant. And I think these 5 people, Helen Tran, Theodore Sanchez, Fred Charette, Sandra Barra, and Juan Figueroa, need to be on notice from the community that you grab this guy. And if he costs us our chief of police, it's gonna cost you, because that's not okay. And if he costs us our awesome department heads and he keeps bringing in these yes men, that's not gonna be okay. We're not going backwards anymore, ever again. We have to proceed forward. So thank you guys. That's all I wanted to share with you. I will repost this if you didn't see the beginning. And then, yeah, if you can make it Wednesday, 3 o'clock at the Feldham Library is a special meeting that they really do not want the community to attend and have a say in these things. So that's why I'm here today, so that you know. So thank you guys, appreciate you. Thank you, Sophia, Mike, and Laura for watching. And have a great rest of your night, San Bernardino. Thank you.